Stories and Documentary Network.
Deep in the heart of Cambodia, where dense jungle intertwines with the whispers of time, stands a monument of awe-inspiring grandeur. Angkor Wat. Its spires pierce the sky, its walls etched with stories of gods, kings, and warriors. But beyond its architectural magnificence lies a mystery more profound than stone and mortar. Lining the temples, guarding its sanctums and stairways, are figures frozen in eternal vigilance. The guardians of Angkor Wat. Their faces, carved in intricate detail, gaze outward with an intensity that seems almost alive. They are neither mere statues nor simple ornamentation. They are silent witnesses to centuries of devotion, power, and decay. For centuries, these guardians have held their post, weathering the march of time, the encroachment of nature, and the tides of human ambition. They watched empires rise and fall, kingdoms collapse, and yet they remain. What secrets do these stone sentinels conceal? What stories have they silently borne witness to in the shadowed corridors of Angkor Wat? Tonight, we unravel the enigma of these eternal watchers, exploring not just the temple they protect, but the civilization that entrusted its very soul to their stone embrace. The story of Angkor Wat begins not with stone, but with vision. In the 9th century, amidst the lush plains and rivers of Southeast Asia, the Khmer Empire emerged as a force of unparalleled ambition and sophistication. Under the rule of King Jayavarman II, the disparate territories of the region were unified into a centralized kingdom, laying the foundation for a civilization whose influence would span centuries. The Khmer Empire's success was built on ingenuity and adaptation. Its rulers mastered hydraulic engineering, constructing vast networks of canals, reservoirs, and barrages, massive water storage systems that transformed the surrounding landscape into fertile rice paddies capable of sustaining millions. This mastery over water allowed the empire to flourish, providing the wealth and stability necessary to pursue grand architectural projects that would define its legacy. By the early 12th century, the empire had reached the zenith of its power under King Suryavarman II. It was during his reign that the monumental temple complex of Angkor Wat was commissioned, a symbol of both religious devotion and political authority. Designed as a microcosm of the Hindu cosmos, Angkor Wat's central tower represented Mount Meru, the mythical home of the gods, while its surrounding galleries mirrored the mountain ranges, oceans, and continents that circled this sacred peak. Every stone, every carving, and every corridor was conceived with cosmic significance in mind. But Angkor Wat was not merely a spiritual sanctuary. It was also a statement of royal power. The Khmer kings claimed divine sanction, presenting themselves as earthly representatives of Vishnu, the preserver god. The temple's intricate bas-reliefs told epic tales of the Ramayana and Mahabharata, celebrating the virtues of heroism, loyalty, and justice, virtues the king hoped to embody in his rule. Every guardian statue, every celestial dancer carved into sandstone, was a reminder of the divine order that underpinned the kingdom. Yet, the rise of Angkor Wat also coincided with the seeds of vulnerability. The empire relied heavily on its sophisticated water management system, which, while impressive, was also delicate. Environmental fluctuations, periods of drought followed by intense monsoons, could devastate crops and destabilize the population. Simultaneously, the empire's power drew the attention of neighboring kingdoms, whose invasions tested the resilience of the Khmer state. Religion, too, played a shifting role. While early Angkorian society embraced Hinduism, later centuries saw the rise of Theravada Buddhism, altering cultural practices and political structures. The guardians of Angkor Wat, however, remained steadfast, embodying continuity amid change. They bore silent witness to the empire's grandeur and fragility alike, standing resolute as the stones of the temple whispered the history of a civilization at its peak and its eventual decline. Angkor Wat, then, was more than a temple. It was a living emblem of Khmer ingenuity, devotion, and ambition. And through it all, its guardians watched, eternal and inscrutable, a testament to a civilization whose stories are etched not just in chronicles, but in the very stone that still commands reverence and awe. At Angkor Wat, the stone guardians are more than silent sentinels. They are embodiments of power, protection, and mysticism. Known as Dvarapala, these statues are strategically placed at entrances, along causeways, and near sanctums, their imposing forms serving both a spiritual and symbolic function. Carved from sandstone, each figure reflects meticulous craftsmanship, with muscular physiques, fierce expressions, and intricate ornamentation that speaks to the Khmer artisan's mastery. Among the most striking guardians are the Yaksha and Yakshi. Rooted in Hindu and Buddhist mythology, Yakshas are male nature spirits often associated with wealth, fertility, and protection, while Yakshis, their female counterparts, embody nurturing and benevolent forces. At Angkor Wat, these figures are positioned to safeguard sacred spaces, ensuring that only the worthy may enter the sanctum. Their presence is a reminder that the temple is not merely a physical structure, but a living, sacred cosmos, demanding reverence and respect. The naga, or serpent deity, is another recurring guardian. Represented as multi-headed serpents winding along staircases and balustrades, the naga bridges the earthly realm and the divine. Legend holds that they control water and fertility, protecting the temple while symbolizing the connection between life, death, and rebirth. As worshippers ascend the temple's terraces, the naga guides their spiritual journey upward toward the sanctum, a reminder that every step is a sacred passage. Other guardians include fierce warriors, armed and ready, their expressions carved to convey unwavering vigilance. These figures may appear intimidating, yet they serve a dual purpose: protection and instruction. They symbolize the Khmer ideal of moral strength, bravery, and loyalty, traits not only expected of warriors but of the king himself. Every thin, curve, and detail on these statues communicates authority, discipline, and divine alignment. The guardians are not uniform in appearance. Each reflects specific iconography tied to its placement and purpose. Some are depicted mid-motion, muscles tense, as if ready to leap into action, while others are stoic, their serene expressions suggesting spiritual enlightenment and calm control. This deliberate variation mirrors the complex cosmology of the Khmer universe, where divine and mortal realms intertwine, and where protection is both physical and spiritual. These statues also serve as historical witnesses. Though centuries of weathering, wars, and neglect have left some damaged, many remain remarkably intact, standing resolute against the passage of time. In their silent observation, they bear witness to the rise and fall of the Khmer Empire, the shifting of religious practices, and the encroachment of nature reclaiming its territory. Some scholars suggest that these guardians were designed with a mystical understanding of energy and space, acting as conduits that channel divine power into the temple while repelling negative forces. As visitors walk through Angkor Wat today, the guardians continue their eternal vigil. Their presence evokes awe, reverence, and a sense of mystery, as if the temple itself were alive, protected by forces beyond human comprehension. And yet, for all their strength and purpose, the guardians also pose a question. In the face of inevitable decline, what is the power of these stone sentinels against the tides of history? Even as centuries pass and the jungle encroaches ever closer, the guardians endure. Their stoic expressions, poised stances, and divine symbolism continue to inspire both wonder and speculation. They are more than art. They are enduring echoes of a civilization that sought to capture cosmic order in stone, and in doing so, left a timeless legacy for the world to ponder. Every guardian at Angkor Wat carries layers of meaning, representing more than protection. They are embodiments of divine and cosmic order. The Khmer architects designed the temple not only as a royal and religious center, but as a microcosm of the universe, and the guardians are central to this vision. At the core of Angkor Wat's symbolism is Mount Meru, the mythical center of the universe in Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. The temple's central tower rises like this sacred mountain, while surrounding galleries and moats represent the cosmic ocean and mountain ranges. Positioned strategically, the guardians ensure that the sanctity of this universe is preserved. The Dvarapala, standing at entrances and thresholds, mark the boundary between the human world and the divine, enforcing spiritual order and warding off evil. The Yaksha and Yakshi reflect dualities of protection and benevolence, male and female forces that balance power with nurturing. Their depictions serve as reminders of the interconnectedness of life, nature, and divinity. The Yakshas, with their muscular, often fierce forms, embody the raw power necessary to maintain order, The Yakshis, in contrast, are depicted with flowing lines and serene expressions, emphasizing fertility, abundance, and harmony. Together, they embody the Khmer ideal of cosmic balance. The Naga, serpentine guardians with multiple heads, convey protection, water, and spiritual transformation. In Khmer belief, serpents guard sacred sites and carry the essence of life-giving waters, a reflection of the empire's dependence on hydraulic engineering. In mythology, the Naga also symbolizes rebirth and continuity, a vital concept in a civilization attuned to cycles of nature, agriculture, and cosmic rhythm. Warrior guardians, armed and vigilant, are also imbued with symbolism. They are not mere statues of defense, but manifestations of Dharma, the principle of cosmic law and moral duty. Through their presence, the temple enforces spiritual discipline and moral order. These figures also reinforce the king's authority, serving as a visual metaphor for the divine mandate to rule justly, uphold law, and protect the people. Bas-reliefs throughout Angkor Wat further enrich the guardian's symbolic significance. Scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata illustrate struggles between good and evil, divine intervention, and moral courage. The guardians are both participants and witnesses in these stories, suggesting that protection is not passive but active, a constant engagement with forces that threaten cosmic and human order. Mystically, some interpretations suggest the guardians were intentionally designed with esoteric geometry and symbolism. Their placement aligns with cardinal points, sacred directions, and celestial phenomena, reinforcing their role as intermediaries between the earthly and divine. The guardians are thus not merely decorative, they are conduits, channeling spiritual energy into the temple while shielding it from harm. Through centuries of change, shifting empires, religious transformation, environmental challenges, the guardian's symbolic weight has endured. They are reminders of a civilization's attempt to codify its understanding of the universe, to render invisible cosmic laws in stone. Their presence invites reflection. The guardians stand as eternal witnesses to the ambition, devotion, and ingenuity of the Khmer Empire, silent yet profoundly eloquent. In every carved muscle, every watchful gaze, every coiled serpent, the mysteries of Angkor Wat whisper to those who observe closely. These divine sentinels are not merely protectors of a temple, they are custodians of history, spirituality, and the enduring human quest to bridge the mortal with the divine. And as we continue to explore Angkor Wat, their presence reminds us that some mysteries are eternal, waiting patiently in stone for centuries, inviting the curious and the reverent to ponder their secrets. Angkor Wat, the crown jewel of the Khmer Empire, did not fall due to a single cause. Its decline was a tapestry woven from environmental upheaval, human ambition, and the relentless march of time. For centuries, the temple stood as a beacon of divine order and architectural brilliance, its guardians silently watching over the empire. Yet even the mightiest civilizations are not immune to the forces that shape history. One of the most insidious threats came from the very lifeblood of the empire: water. The Khmer Empire's intricate hydraulic system, comprising canals, reservoirs, and artificial lakes, was a marvel of engineering, sustaining agriculture, trade, and urban life. But these systems were delicate. Severe droughts, followed by torrential monsoons, overwhelmed the canals and reservoirs, devastating crops and triggering famine. Without reliable food supplies, social unrest simmered, weakening the empire from within. The guardians, standing steadfast along temple causeways, witnessed this slow unraveling, their stone gazes a silent testimony to the fragility of human achievement. Simultaneously, external threats pressed upon the empire. Neighboring kingdoms, aware of the Khmer's wealth and influence, launched invasions that chipped away at the empire's power. In 1431, the Siamese kingdom of Ayutthaya attacked Angkor, leaving the once mighty capital in ruins. Palaces and temples were ransacked, and much of the city was abandoned. Angkor Wat, though spared from total destruction, became increasingly isolated. Its guardians, once part of a vibrant spiritual and political center, now faced encroaching jungle and silence, standing vigil over a world in decline. Religious and cultural shifts further destabilized the Khmer Empire. Hinduism, once the spiritual backbone of Angkorian society, gradually gave way to Theravada Buddhism. Temples that had been dedicated to Hindu deities were repurposed, and sacred rituals evolved. While Buddhism brought new philosophies and practices, it also altered the established hierarchy and centralized authority that had sustained the empire. The guardians, symbols of divine protection and cosmic order, persisted, yet the context in which they had been created was changing, leaving them as enigmatic relics of a past age. Internal strife compounded these pressures. Succession disputes, court intrigue, and regional rebellions eroded the centralized power of the Khmer kings. As authority fractured, local rulers became more autonomous, and the once unified empire splintered into competing factions. In this chaos, Angkor Wat stood as a silent observer, its guardians frozen in eternal vigilance, a reminder of the empire's former glory and the transience of human dominion. By the 5th century, the Khmer Empire had effectively retreated from Angkor. Nature reclaimed the abandoned city, with trees and vines creeping over temples, walls, and causeways. The guardians, once part of a living civilization, were now isolated sentinels in a jungle that seemed to grow thicker with every passing year. Yet even as empires rise and fall, the guardians' presence endured, their silent forms bridging the past and present, whispering tales of ambition, devotion, and inevitable decay. The decline of Angkor Wat is a testament to the complex interplay of environment, human ambition, and spiritual transformation. The temple's guardians, ever watchful, remind us that history is not just recorded in texts, but is etched in stone, in the steadfast gaze of those who witnessed the passage of centuries. And as the empire faded, the mystery of the guardians only deepened. What secrets did they keep, and what truths about the Khmer civilization remain hidden beneath the jungle canopy? For centuries, Angkor Wat and its guardians stood largely forgotten by the wider world, hidden beneath layers of jungle and sediment. It was only in the 19th and 20th centuries that systematic archaeological efforts began to reveal the temple's secrets, shedding light on the enigmatic guardians who had silently watched over the ruins for centuries. Early explorers were captivated by the sheer scale of Angkor Wat and the intricate detail of its stone carvings. French scholars and archaeologists, such as Henri Mouhot, documented the temple complex and its guardians, often marveling at how figures carved from sandstone could convey both spiritual power and artistic mastery. The Dvarapala, in particular, drew attention for their lifelike presence and imposing stances, suggesting that these were not mere decorations but deliberate embodiments of protection and cosmic order. Modern archaeological techniques have deepened our understanding of the guardian's purpose and significance. Ground-penetrating radar and 3D scanning have revealed hidden galleries, collapsed statues, and subsurface carvings, providing insight into how the temple was designed as a sacred, self-contained universe. Excavations near Angkor Wat have uncovered additional Dvarapala, Yaksha, and Naga figures, confirming that these guardians were meticulously positioned to guard every entrance, staircase, and corridor. Each statue, often adorned with inscriptions or symbolic motifs, reflects the Khmer artisan's sophisticated understanding of religion, cosmology, and spatial design. In recent years, discoveries have revealed how the guardians interacted with the temple's water systems and landscape. Archaeologists have noted that many statues were aligned with moats and reservoirs, suggesting a symbolic as well as functional role in the protection of water, both a physical resource and a sacred element in Khmer cosmology. Some scholars propose that the guardians acted as spiritual intermediaries, channeling protective energies into the temple and its surroundings, ensuring harmony between the human and divine realms. Beyond their religious significance, the guardians also provide a tangible connection to the Khmer Empire's social and political history. Inscriptions and bas-reliefs offer clues about the artisans, patrons, and religious beliefs that shaped each figure. Through careful study, archaeologists have begun to reconstruct the lives of the people who commissioned, carved, and worshipped alongside these stone sentinels. In doing so, the guardians emerge not only as protectors of a sacred site, but as storytellers of a lost civilization, bridging the centuries between the empire's zenith and the present day. Yet many mysteries remain. Some guardians bear marks of deliberate defacement or mysterious damage, raising questions about the conflicts, rituals, or natural events that shaped their history. Others remain partially buried, hidden beneath centuries of soil and vegetation, waiting for future archaeologists to reveal their secrets. Each excavation uncovers more questions than answers, reinforcing the sense that Angkor Wat is not just a historical site but a living puzzle, where every guardian is a piece of a larger enigmatic story. Through archaeology, we gain not only knowledge but also wonder. The guardians of Angkor Wat stand as enduring witnesses to the Khmer Empire's ingenuity, devotion, and mystery. They remind us that even in silence, stone can speak, carrying the echoes of lost civilizations and whispering secrets that have survived the ravages of time. And as modern scholars continue their work, the guardians remain patient sentinels, watching over a temple that continues to captivate the imagination of the world. Amidst the silent corridors and shadowed galleries of Angkor Wat, whispers of ancient legends still linger. Local folklore speaks of guardians that move under the cover of night, their stone forms animated by divine will to protect the sacred temple from unseen forces. Travelers and villagers recount tales of flickering lights among the ruins, eerie footsteps along abandoned causeways, and fleeting shadows that suggest the presence of sentinels who walk unseen. One enduring mystery surrounds the temple's construction itself. Scholars continue to debate how the Khmer engineers transported enormous sandstone blocks over vast distances without modern machinery. Some legends attribute this feat to supernatural intervention, suggesting that the guardians themselves, imbued with spiritual energy, played a role in raising the temple. Others point to advanced engineering and meticulous labor, but the sense of awe and mystery endures. Even the purpose of certain guardians remains enigmatic. Some statues appear deliberately defaced or buried, leading researchers to speculate about ritualistic acts, political upheaval, or symbolic representations of spiritual battles. Why were some figures removed from view, while others remained prominently displayed? What cosmic or earthly forces determined their placement? Angkor Wat also harbors mysteries tied to time itself. Astronomical alignments in the temple's layout suggest that the Khmer may have observed celestial events with incredible precision, linking the guardians' positions to solstices, equinoxes, and lunar cycles. These alignments imply a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and ritual, hinting that the guardians' watchful presence extended not only over earthly realms, but also over the heavens. Despite centuries of study, Angkor Wat continues to defy full comprehension. Its guardians, frozen in eternal vigilance, embody the enigma of a civilization that has left few written records yet created monuments of monumental scale and mystery. Each stone sentinel invites reflection. What secrets of faith, power, and cosmic order have survived through their silent watch? What truths about the Khmer Empire's wisdom, ingenuity, and mysticism are still waiting to be uncovered beneath the dense jungle canopy? In the shadows of Angkor Wat, history and legend intertwine, leaving visitors with awe, wonder, and a sense that some mysteries may never be fully solved. The guardians stand as reminders that some echoes of the past are eternal, speaking to all who dare to observe, listen, and imagine. Today, Angkor Wat and its guardians are no longer hidden wonders. They have become symbols of national pride, cultural heritage, and global fascination. Yet preserving these ancient sentinels is a monumental task. Centuries of weathering, tropical humidity, and encroaching vegetation threaten the integrity of sandstone statues that have stood for nearly a millennium. International collaboration, advanced conservation techniques, and local stewardship have become essential to safeguard this legacy. Archaeologists, historians, and conservationists employ state-of-the-art technology, 3D scanning, laser mapping, and climate-controlled preservation to monitor and protect the temple complex. These efforts ensure that the guardians, with their watchful eyes and commanding presence, continue to tell the story of the Khmer Empire to future generations. Beyond mere structural preservation, these initiatives strive to maintain the spiritual and cultural essence of the temple, respecting the sacred purpose for which it was built. The Guardians' influence extends far beyond stone and temple walls. They inspire art, literature, and cinema, symbolizing protection, vigilance, and mystical power. Modern Cambodian culture celebrates these figures through festivals, educational programs, and tourism initiatives, reinforcing their role as cultural ambassadors. Visitors from around the world come not only to witness architectural marvels, but to feel the aura of guardianship, the presence of forces that transcend centuries. Furthermore, the guardians embody lessons for contemporary society. They remind us of the delicate balance between human ambition and the natural world, the importance of stewardship over cultural heritage, and the enduring power of symbolism in shaping collective identity. In a rapidly changing world, the guardians stand as timeless examples of resilience, vigilance, and the capacity of human creativity to reach toward the divine. As Angkor Wat continues to attract scholars, pilgrims, and tourists, the guardians serve as bridges between past and present, reminding all who encounter them that history is both a lesson and a living experience. They are not merely observers of the past, they are active participants in the ongoing story of human civilization, ensuring that the Khmer legacy remains vibrant and resonant. In the heart of Cambodia, Angkor Wat stands as a testament to human ambition, devotion, and ingenuity. Its guardians, carved from stone yet imbued with timeless presence, have witnessed the rise and fall of an empire, the shifting of religions, and the inexorable march of time. They are silent storytellers, chronicling the grandeur and fragility of the Khmer civilization, the mysteries of its beliefs, and the triumphs and tragedies that unfolded within its walls. These sentinels remind us that history is not only recorded in texts or artifacts, but also in the vigilant gaze of those who endure through centuries. Each Dvarapala, Yaksha, and Naga embodies cosmic order, spiritual protection, and the enduring human quest to bridge the mortal and divine. As the sun rises over Angkor Wat, casting golden light upon its towers and guardians, one cannot help but feel awe and reverence. The guardians remain ever watchful, their silent vigil eternal, inviting us to contemplate not just the mysteries of the Khmer Empire, but the enduring power of human imagination, devotion, and artistry. In their quiet presence, history lives, and the echoes of a lost civilization continue to resonate, inspiring wonder and curiosity for generations to come.